7 Rob Jones of Tennessee. Remember now, the Rebels playing without starting forwards George Buckner and Michael Partridge, who have been suspended for the remainder of the season for disciplinary reasons. And the Rebels don't have a player in the game averaging in double figures, with the exception of their leading scorer, Eric Laird. Rob Jones controls the tap for Tennessee, and Jenkins able to chase it down. So the Volunteers attack first. What about the Ole Miss defense, Joe?
I think this is the defense that Lee Hunt would like to play, but it cost him already.
Well, they get it inside to Willie Burton. Somehow the pass threaded between the Ole Miss defensive players, and Burton puts Tennessee on top.
Well, they had good defensive pressure in their man defense. He went a back door and got a beautiful pass. He was wide open underneath.
What about the Tennessee defense?
Same thing. We mentioned we came on. Quick, small, man-to-man.
And Ayers gets away from his man to lay it in, and Ole Miss ties it at 2.
They ran what we call a shuffle cut off that high post, and he was wide open underneath and got the good pass. Both teams scored off that man pressure defense.
Tyrone Beeman for the Volunteers. White almost lost the handle. Fans wanted a walk or perhaps a palming violation. Got neither. Volunteers control. Jenkins at the top of the key to White, who's had consecutive 20-point games against Vandy in Kentucky. Top of this circle again to Jenkins. Now they go inside to Burton. He's double teamed, and it's taken away by Tranbarger.
Tranbarger, good hands. They trapped him a little bit on the baseline there, and Tranbarger got the good steal.
So the Rebels with a chance to take the lead. Whistle inside, and the first foul of the game is going to be called against Tennessee.
Looked like Tony White. He was trying to front on the inside, pushed, and there's a good shot there. The Ole Miss bench, Coach Lee Hunt, who had 136 wins as a high school coach in Missouri. He's 24-25 since he took over here at Ole Miss.
Was Southeastern Conference Coach of the Year last year in his initial season here at Oxford.
And went to the NIT in the first year. Tennessee zoning. They'll zone the inbounds pass underneath their basket, the Ole Miss basket, and they'll stay in that zone on that offensive set.
Andre Laird to Ayers, who is on the point at the moment for the Rebel offense. Laird in the corner. Tranbarger can't get his shot away. Feeds it back outside. Shot clock down to 18 seconds. Ayers knocked away, taken by Tennessee. Here's Beeman quickly in front court. Gets away from Andre Laird, and they set up the offense as Ole Miss stays man-to-man defensively. Jenkins feeds inside to Jones. They got him wide open.
They have to front inside. The defense got caught behind him. Pass went from the wing to the forward. They dropped it inside on the low post, and he just laid it in.
Tennessee with a 2-point lead, 4-2. We've played 2.5 minutes from Oxford. Here's a steal by Beeman. Beeman will take it in. It won't go, but he's fouled. The foul will be called on Ole Miss, and it'll be whistled against Don Royster.
Well, he leads the Tennessee defense in steals. He has all year. He did last year, and he really blindsided them that time. Had a chance for the three-point play, but real quick defense here. Royster got back very quickly and prevented the basket, but Beeman will shoot two.
We saw why Beeman is the Tennessee career leader in steals. He had 67 steals last season. That's a single season record for the Volunteers. And for his second free throw from Niagara Falls, the senior got them both. 3 Volunteers have cracked the scoring column. Tennessee with its longest lead, a 4-point advantage. Eric Laird goes coast to coast. He scores, and there'll be a foul.
Well, you'll see Tennessee full court man-to-man pressure after made foul shots, but Ole Miss handled it with ease. They got it all the way down the court to the man they wanted to, Eric Laird. He takes it coast to coast, as you mentioned, Tom. He gets it to go down right there, but they called him for charging.
First foul on Laird, his first basket as well. Watch it from floor level. Credit Laird with a basket, but also give him his first foul. 2 whistled against the Rebels now. They pull within 2. It's a 6-4 Tennessee lead.
Tennessee's gone 1-4 with their offensive attack.
White got away from his man, shot up no good. Rob Jones with a rebound, up and still no good. This time it's pulled down by Ole Miss. Royster wades in the heavy traffic to claim the rebound for the Rebels.
Good offensive board work by Tennessee, but Jones couldn't get it to go down. Tennessee back man-to-man.
Tranbarger to Eric Laird. Royster comes out high to get it. Rebels looking to tie with a bucket here. Andre Laird, the freshman, 4 of them in the lineup for the Rebels of Ole Miss. Cross-court pass. Andre Laird is open, can't hit it. And Burton, after a couple of taps, pulls down the rebound for Tennessee.
You wonder why he was so open. Tennessee in their man defense does a beautiful job of weak side help. They'll slide that weak side guy all the way into the foul lane, so they lobbed across the defense, and Ayers was wide open on the Andre Laird was wide open, and of course he missed it.
Burton shoots over an Ole Miss zone. The Rebels with a zone defense that time down court, but Tennessee can't connect. So the Rebels again with a chance to tie. Andre Laird comes out high to set up the offense. Laird had a good shot last time, couldn't hit it. And remember, they're the worst shooting team in the conference, only hitting 42.3% as a team from the field.
And most teams have zoned them because of that, trying to force the outside perimeter shot. But Tennessee says, we'll play you man.
Steal by Jenkins. He got it.
And he didn't try to hurry it. He knew he had him on his back, and he very quickly just went linked to the court with the steal. Turnover. Pressure by Tennessee.
Ole Miss not able to handle the pressure. They turn it over. It'll go back to the Volunteers. 4 Vols have scored here in the early going. We have 15:41 remaining in the first half of play and a timeout here in Oxford, Mississippi. So a timeout with the Volunteers taking an early lead on the homestanding Rebs. The score, Tennessee 8, Mississippi 4. We'll be back in a moment. Rebels gathered around trying to regroup his forces. They uncharacteristically shot pretty well in the early going, though they trailed.
Well, they're 2 for 3 because they've been problems with turnovers, Tom. They've turned it over 3 times, and all 3 have cost them dearly. And Jenkins just made a beautiful steal. Beeman had made one. Tennessee's 3 of 6, 50% so far. Tennessee's ball out of bounds when we come back.
And as we come back to play, it's triggered into Burton, to White, to Beeman. They set it up. Again, Ole Miss in a zone defense. Looks like a 2-1-2.
Yeah, 2-1-2, 2-3. The middle man floats. Steal by out of that zone.
And Laird steps on the out-of-bounds line as he comes up court. The Laird brothers were streaking up with only White back on defense, but Andre Laird stepped on the out-of-bounds line for that man's team. Lee Hunt has had a whole career worth of frustrations in his second year at Ole Miss.
They were struggling playing man against the quickness of the Vols, and so they've gone into 2-3 or 2-1-2 zone defense, trying to force some perimeter shooting.
White and Beeman playing catch. Now they get it baseline to Rob Jones. Back outside as the zone shifts over to protect against that baseline shot. Try to get it in the middle to Burton. Can't handle the pass. Laird to Laird. Here's Ayers. Pulls up for the basket. Won't go, and a foul. It's going to be a charging foul on Ayers. And again, as we see so many times, instead of pulling up, going straight up to shoot that shot, charged into the defensive man.
We talk about that so much. They had the numbers. They had a chance for the good shot. The defense is going to plant and set up on you underneath. Don't try to run over that guy. Pull up. Shoot the little 10-footer off the glass. He could have had an easy chip shot if he'd have just done it. Instead, Tennessee has the ball, and they still lead.
Derek Horn into the game for Ole Miss, replacing Tranbarger. Horn, 6'7" sophomore from Quitman, Georgia. And he wears 34 in white. Tranbarger goes to the sideline. Tennessee attacking. Here's the baseline pass to Jenkins, who misses the shot. Burton on a follow, knocked away from him, and stolen by Andre Laird. Rebels on the run. Pass to Ayers again. This time he lays it in, but it's going to be another foul. It's going to be a foul on Andre Laird for running over Beeman, and that'll nullify a fast break basket.
Well, that's the 3rd time now. They've had the numbers right here. Watch it again. As he kicks the ball off, he's not running under control. I thought it was a good call, Tom. The defense is planted and playing good position. They simply ran over them. 2-1-2 zone, Ole Miss.
With an 8-4 lead, Volunteers attacking. White, outside shot. Won't go, and a rebound. Horn of Ole Miss had good position. Again, the Rebels trying to get it up court in a hurry. They trail by 4.
And they started 4 freshmen. They now have 1 sophomore and 1 junior and 3 freshmen in the lineup.
Horn gives it to Ayers and around to Andre Laird. Brother Eric posting up low, gets the pass and pops in the shot. Pretty little post up and shot by Eric Laird.
Got it on the low post, a little fall away jumper. Tennessee still playing the man defense. And as I mentioned, it's rare because almost everybody has been zoning this team because they do not shoot the ball outside.
Laird at 6'4" has size on either Tennessee guard. White is 6'2", Beeman 5'11".
Tennessee's man defense, though, at times is like a zone.
Lobbed it to Jones, but he couldn't hit the shot underneath. Loose ball claimed by Mississippi.
Good defense underneath for the Rebels.
Eric Laird back to Andre Laird. Can't get anything going. He'll back it out and set it up. Tennessee still man-to-man. There's Eric Laird guarded by Jenkins. Jenkins is 6'3", so Laird has an inch on him as well and tries to post him up low again. Wide open underneath. Laird can't handle the pass. Horn was open, didn't take the shot. Mississippi again controlling with a half-court offense. The shot clock down to 11 seconds. This is Eric Laird. Goes one-on-one against Jenkins and draws the foul. Beeman reaching in.
Well, that's part of that help defense we talked about. He reached out trying to get a piece of it to get the steal. Didn't get it. Got his arm. Foul against Ole Miss.
That's the second against Tennessee. Second foul on Tennessee and the first on Beeman.
I said Ole Miss. I meant Tennessee.
Tennessee committing 2 and Ole Miss 4 thus far in the first half with 12:55 remaining.
And 3 of those fouls against the Rebels have been charging, going toward their basket.
And at least one of them nullified a basket.
All right.
So it's not been a good first half thus far for Ole Miss, but they're still in the game. They trail by only 2 and operating here with a chance to tie it. Wide open underneath again. Andre Laird. Nice fake. Missed the shot.
Well, they worked him loose on the baseline, but he just could not. They had a little pick for him right on the baseline. He swung across it. The pass was perfect. He should have caught it and just power moved it to the basket. Hesitated, and it cost him.
Tennessee with a 2-point lead and the basketball. 12:20 showing on the clock for the first half. Ole Miss this time is zoning it once again, like a 2-3 or a 2-1-2 as that middleman comes up. They've done a good job on the zone. Their Ayers knocks one out of bounds.
Much more aggressive. They had arms extended, trying to make the pass inside the middle of that zone tough, and been very aggressive. Burton.
Willie Burton gets his 4th point of the game.
They went to sleep there, Tom. They just threw it to him, and he just took it as soon as he caught it and put it on the glass. They weren't ready to play. Freshman mistake.
Ayers out high, gives it to Horn, can't get loose. Eric Laird open for his shot. Won't go, and a nice rebound by Jones, knocked away from him. Ayers steps on the baseline. Ayers had a steal for a moment, stepped on the baseline. That'll turn it over to Tennessee. So the Volunteers will come up court again with a 4-point lead and a chance to add to it when we come back to play. We've got a timeout. 11 minutes, 49 seconds to play in the first half from Oxford, Mississippi. SEC action with the Volunteers leading the Rebels 10-6. Fund of both Tennessee and Mississippi as part of the Gulf Most Valuable Player Award Scholarship Program.
Ole Miss is 3 of 6, 50%. Tennessee just 4 of 10. They've had 4 more shots, just 40%. But the Rebels have turned it over 6 times, and they trail by 4 because of that.
You see the turnover situation as Beeman brings it up court for the Volunteers. They hold a 10-6 lead on the Rebels as we approach the halfway mark in the initial period. Here's a turnover. Burl Crowell says, send it Ole Miss's way. What happened?
3 seconds in the lane. Burton, for some reason or other, had a foot in and never got it out. Of course, it cost them, and the Rebs were still in that 2-3 zone defense.
Andre Laird and Beeman, those two quick matchup in the backcourt. Here's Royster inside, and he misses from in close as the inability to hit continues to plague Ole Miss. Their statistics may look good, but they've missed a couple of bunnies.
Wide open underneath, and that's the reason they've struggled and are 0-9 in the league, because they just have not shot the good percentage at all. And Tennessee hadn't handled the Rebel zone defense with much authority at all. I think the defense has been very active. They've turned it over and hadn't had good shots since they went 2-3.
Dan Fetterman in the game for Tennessee. Fetterman is the 6'10 senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. That'll go back to the Volunteers. Fetterman, averaging 8 a game, scored 18 in the Vols' win against Ole Miss in Knoxville earlier this season. They really don't have anyone to match up with him size-wise in the lineup at the moment. They do have Kinchin at 6'11 on the bench.
Of course, in that first meeting, Tennessee just blew him off the court, 83-59. They're not getting any penetration against that zone defense. It collapses well. It makes penetration very difficult. They're going to force the outside shot like that.
Outside shot from Beeman, no good. Good position, Horn. Had Fetterman blocked off the board. Here's Laird, his shot good. Eric Laird off the glass. He has 6 of the 8 Ole Miss points.
Well, they love to do that. They'll get it up the side if they can, and they want to get it to the man who can get it in. Eric Laird, the best shooter on the team, averaging almost 16 points a game, and really didn't have a break, but he was open on the wing and got it to go down.
Beeman works his way inside the zone, but down toward the baseline, not really inside the zone. And Jenkins, they got it to him in the teeth, and he popped it home.
Well, you're right. They finally got it into the heart of that zone defense, and he didn't spin his wheels. He came out of there shooting quickly and got it to go down. A little string music for Fred Jenkins in Oxford, Mississippi.
Point number 4 for the freshman as Ole Miss attacks, trailing again by 4. That's been the longest Tennessee lead. Ole Miss has never led. Open is Eric Laird. He can't hit it. White shirts in there for the rebound. Andre Laird, he gets it from inside.
Poor defensive rebounding by Tennessee. They didn't block off well. Fetterman lost it, and the Reps stayed after it. Good hustle. Charging.
Tyrone Beeman, they whistled for the foul. There's Andre Laird after making the basket, giving Beeman fits in the backcourt and drawing the charge. Second foul on Tyrone Beeman, and that's the 3rd against the Vols. Watch it again.
Set him up beautifully, and Beeman, who's an excellent point guard, didn't get the ball reversed, and consequently it cost him, and the Rebels will have it going the other way. Look at it again.
You see Beeman got Andre Laird right in the stomach with his shoulder, and Laird has had to leave the game. He got the wind knocked out of him. He is replaced by Cecil Dowell. Dowell, number 11 in white, 6-foot senior from Arlington, Tennessee, averaging 4 a game as Laird tries to catch his breath on the Ole Miss bench.
Cecil Dowell hadn't started a lot this year, but he led this team in assists last year.
Dowell is able to save it to Ayers. As we come back to play, he'll take up the point duties on the Ole Miss offense. Dowell's averaging 4 a game, out of bounds. It'll go back to Ole Miss.
Cecil Dowell's a senior who started last year, but for some reason or another has had an off year. Has struggled at the point, and it's gone with a freshman. And Andre Laird, and of course Dowell, as I mentioned, was the leading assist player on this team. Steele.
Threw it right to Beeman. Beeman goes in against Ayers. Horn tracking him as well, and Horn got him.
They all were after the little guy again. Made another steal. All he did was step into the passing lane. And the defense is perfect when you can do that. The offense didn't pick it up. The offensive player, instead of looking at the offensive player when he makes a cross-court pass, should really look at the defensive player. They hog-tied him there. He's brought him down. The little guy's at the line shooting too.
Watch it again from floor level as you see Horn picking up his first foul. In the meantime, Beeman has hit the free throw. He is 3 for 3 at the line this afternoon and ready now for his second attempt at the line. 5 team fouls now against the Rebels as Beeman hits them both. He has a string of 4 in a row going. Is only 4 points in the game. He is 9th in the conference in free throw percentage, hitting 78%. Ole Miss fans wanted a foul there. See the score, Tennessee with a 4-point lead. Horn, off-balance shot, threw up a brick, which hit the side of the basket, and Tennessee gets a run out. Here's White.
Fred Jenkins got the rebound and did the thing you're supposed to do. Look up court. Is there a guy underneath with the same shirt on that you have? He had one, White, and he stuffed it at the other end. Beautiful.
All 5 Tennessee starters have scored now. Here's Jenkins with a steal. Jenkins all the way, and he's fouled. It'll be called on Ayers as all of a sudden Ole Miss is having trouble handling the ball, and Tennessee is getting the steals and the runouts. Ole Miss coach Lee Hunt's going to take a timeout to try to reorganize. You see Jenkins going in, and the foul will be on Ayers. Joe Ayers with his 2nd foul and the 6th against the Rebels. Timeout, 8 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the first half. Tennessee has its longest lead. The Volunteers lead first place in the SEC. With Alabama's defeat of Kentucky this afternoon, the Auburn Tigers are alone atop the SEC standings. Only 2 league losses. And Florida, which has been a hot team of late, if they could defeat Auburn at Gainesville tomorrow, they would move into a 3-way tie with Auburn and Kentucky for first place in the SEC. That's coming your way tomorrow on most of these SPI network stations, Florida and Auburn.
You're right. That ought to be a honey down there. Both teams are really playing well. But the Florida Gators, those freshman guards have really come to life. Norm Sloan has done a super job with this team. That senior-laden front line is really doing it, and they've been devastating at home. In fact, they've been blowing people out. The Rebels are 5 of 11 now, just 45%, but they've turned it over 8 times, and that has really cost them.
Jenkins hitting the 2 free throws for Tennessee, and the Vols have their longest advantage, an 8-point lead.
Tennessee has stayed in that pressure man-to-man defense.
Laird with nothing else to do, pops in about a 20-footer.
Fred Jenkins was overplaying the passing lane on the outside, and he just pivoted toward the basket and put it up and got the bottom.
Rebels back within 6.
Eric Laird.
Laird is averaging 15 a game, 7th in the conference in scoring. And the Rebels still zoning. White against the zone, back to Beeman on the point. That 1-4 offensive set. Foul almost on a steal, not quite.
Tennessee very, very patient. They don't mind working the clock. They want that good percentage shot, like right there.
White couldn't hit it, but Burton has the rebound taken away from him by Laird, who stepped on the baseline. So again, Ole Miss with a good play, but all for naught because Laird, after knocking it away from Burton, stepped out of bounds.
Better defense that time, because the last time they had it out of bounds, they had a quick pass to Willie Burton, and he stuck it in. He had good pressure on the point of the ball.
7.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and a 6-point Tennessee lead. The Vols have never trailed. Looking to even their conference record with a victory here today. Played the first half of the SEC schedule. Shot clock down to 18. Beeman tries to get some penetration. Nothing doing. They cut him off again. Back to White on the point. Now they get it inside to Fetterman. He can't hit it on the second try, third try, fourth bat. No good, but a foul.
Well, they got it inside the heart of that zone defense. Fetterman had the good shot, but it wouldn't go down. But give this big guy a lot of credit. As you mentioned, Tom, he's the biggest guy by far on this court. And right there, it really paid dividends because he just kept it alive, tipped it 3 times after he shot. Couldn't get it to go down, but was fouled in the act of shooting.
Foul is on Joe Ayers. That's his 3rd. He's the first player in the game with as many as 3. He's also number 7 on the Rebels, and will be shooting 1+1 for the remainder of the half on the Tennessee end. There you see Fetterman, 6'10", senior, Cincinnati, Ohio. Is about what, a 69% free throw shooter?
69 on the season and 48.5 from the field. He's always looked big. They list him 6'10", but he's always looked much bigger than that to me. And 235, and there you see his shooting percentages.
Cincinnati Elder High School, and has been a sometime starter for the Volunteers. Now doing a role this year as 6th man off the ball bench. His first 2 in the game, and giving Tennessee another 8-point lead. Cecil Dow got away from Beeman, challenged Fetterman. Horn dunked it in.
Well, Jenkins got caught in a tough situation. He came over to help out. That meant he couldn't block off Horn. And Fetterman got a little piece of that ball, a little rejection. And of course, Horn then was wide open because Jenkins had the lead. That's what happened.
Fetterman inside again, shoots over Horn and hits. Dan Fetterman, his first field goal, 4th point. Remember, he had 18 in the earlier game, and he again gives Tennessee that 8-point lead.
It's a great play against the zone. If you can get it right on that baseline tight, the big guy can turn around and just stick it in. It's hard to defense that play. That's what they did. Just beautiful. Of course, Fetterman has an excellent touch in and around the basket close.
Eric Laird comes out to claim it for Ole Miss. The Rebels down by 8. Cecil Dow with Beeman on the defense. They got it inside and rejected, but a foul.
Good patience offensively by Ole Miss. They kept turning it over. Got a pick on the weak side on the right-hand side. Has broke the guy open underneath right here. Couldn't see who it was. Looks like Laird, Eric Laird, open underneath. And, of course, they fouled him. It was Fetterman and Jenkins, it looked like. Who'd they call it on?
Called it on Fetterman, his first. And that's 4 against the Volunteers this half. As Eric Laird gets set to go to the line for the Rebels. Had a career-high 34 points against Kentucky here this season. In fact, his regular number was number 24, but they lost that jersey. So after he scored 34 points wearing number 5, he said, I'm going to stick with that. And he's won 5 ever since.
He's ranked number 6 in the Southeastern Conference in free throw shooting at 79.3%, and he missed the first one there, and he's number 7 in scoring in the SEC race. So he's their main guy. He's done a good job shooting the basketball for them and scoring all year long. But they have really missed Chico Partridge and George Buckner, 2 starters. A little pressure now by Ole Miss.
Sylvester Kinchin in the game for the Rebels, 6'11", 215-pound freshman from Austin, Texas, averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds a game. He's 54, the big guy on the wing of that Ole Miss zone at the moment. Fetterman on the baseline, can't get a shot away over Eric Laird, who's on the other wing down low. White got a little pick from Fetterman and popped it home.
You're right, just enough to frame, and as soon as he got by the pick, he exploded in the air and put it on the glass. Just a beautiful play. And you can pick against a zone defense. A lot of people think you can't, but that pick made it possible. Just a simple little maneuver on the wing.
Tennessee with its longest lead. Ball's up by 9 with 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Andre Laird to brother Eric. Two stars from the Memphis high school ranks. Both Eric and Andre Laird were stars in the football as well as basketball. Eric was a wide receiver and Andre was a quarterback. Underneath, pinch it over Fetterman. Won't go. Rebound Burton of Tennessee. Dropped it, picked it back up, and got rid of it to White.
Tennessee, good block out off the board. Burton almost lost it, but he got the guy pinned on his back, and of course it makes it so easy when you do that.
White able to chase it down for Tennessee. They leave him open from the corner, and Tony White pops in point number 6.
Since they've made him a starter, he has really developed the confidence. He just believes he can hit that 15-footer from the outside, and he has really done it in the last 5 or 6 games for Tennessee.
The freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina has already equaled his average. That was his 6th point. Laird wanted a foul as he missed the shot. Here's White up court, kicks it out of bounds. It'll go to Ole Miss. Laird got a hand on it from behind, and White kicked it out of bounds.
Just enough. He got a piece of the ball and ricocheted it just enough, and it was then kicked by number 11, Tony White.
Rebels ball with 4:13 remaining first half, and the Rebs need to get something going here. They're down 11. Longest lead of the game by the Volunteers, who scored the first 2 and have never looked back. Dow tried to get it to Eric Laird. Not a very good pass, and in his frustration, Laird commits the foul, trying to get it back from Fetterman.
But give the credit to Fred Jenkins, the freshman, who they think is going to be really a great one at Tennessee. He overplayed just enough. Rejected the pass on the inside as they were trying to get it to Eric Laird, and it got loose, and Fetterman, of course, picked it up. A lot of frustration, as you mentioned. Laird fouled.
And Fetterman goes back to the line where he is perfect in his 2 prior attempts. For Tennessee, Kevin Woods in, 6'5" junior from Baltimore, Maryland, averaging 5 a game. And a substitution for Ole Miss. Brad Pierce, a 6-foot senior from Winnetka, Illinois, averaging 2 a game. He replaces Eric Laird. Fetterman at the line for 2. Interesting thing about Fetterman, in his first college game, he set his career highs with 24 points and 15 rebounds. Can't hit that free throw, and Ole Miss with no damage done and a chance to get 2 closer. Here's Pierce now. Ole Miss operating with 3 guards in the game. Andre Laird, Brad Pierce, and Cecil Dowell.
Pierce, a transfer from Tulsa, has played a lot here. He's been a very good outside shooter, a dependable ball handler, doesn't turn it over much. But Lee Hunt definitely in a youth program. He's looking for the future.
Started 4 freshmen this afternoon. Inside Royster. Fetterman hammered him. Got a good pass. He got Fetterman on his hip for a moment, and as he got the pass, all Fetterman could do was foul.
Well, he set up on that low post. It was just beautiful. They cleared the whole right side of the court. So he was set up on that low block. They gave it to him on an excellent bounce pass, and Fetterman knocks him down practically. Arms, elbows, everything, and he'll shoot 2. Not Royster.
Royster looking for his first points this afternoon. He's a 3rd-team All-American as a high school senior, rated in the top 30 big men in the South. Missed as his free throw as Eric Laird comes back in after a brief rest. He replaces brother Andre.
Royster hadn't played a lot early in the year, but he came in against Mississippi State here and had a real good game, and has been playing, getting more playing time since then.
Royster had 120 dunks his senior year in high school. Can't hit either free throw, and Fetterman clears the rebound for Tennessee. 120 dunks in his senior season.
Only shooting 47% at the foul line, so that'll give you an indication of why he missed 2.
Tennessee around the Ole Miss zone. Fetterman in the corner. 3:10 on the clock, and a Tennessee lead at 26-15. Pierce chases down the ball, so again, Ole Miss with a chance to convert. They leave Laird open. He tried to get it to Kinchin right through his hands. Out of bounds, last touch by Burton of Tennessee. That was a break for the Rebels as Laird spotted Kinchin streaking for the basket, but the big guy couldn't handle the pass. But no harm done. The Rebels will have possession of the basketball, and we come back. We have a timeout in Oxford, 2:59 to play first half. Tennessee leading Ole Miss 26-15. This broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Sports Productions Incorporated. Any transmission or rebroadcast of the contents or descriptions of this game, either in whole or in part, without prior written consent of SPI is strictly prohibited. Announcers for today's game employed and compensated by Sports Productions Incorporated, Dallas, Texas.
Ole Miss is 7 of 17 from the field, 41%, 1 of 4 from the foul line, 25%, and you see the turnovers.
9 for the Rebels, 6 for the Volunteers. One of the reasons that Tennessee holds a 26-15 lead. Kinchin inside, double teamed. Gets a pass outside again to Cecil Dowell. And the Ole Miss offense, Royster, Pierce. There's Kinchin again with Fetterman guarding him. Kinchin once again surrounded by orange jerseys. Gets rid of it to Royster, who pulls up for the jumper, no good. Burton, another rebound for Tennessee. He tried to leave it for teammate White and double dribbled. Burton in some heavy traffic, not used to operating in that situation, dribbling the ball, and it cost him.
Never really got full control of the ball. He kept tapping it and fumbling it and trying to get it where he could move it down the court. You're right, Tom. He wanted to get it to a guard, and that's what you want him to do.
Kinchin got around Fetterman. And a foul. It's going to be a pushing foul called on Tennessee. Got away from Fetterman and laid it up a little too softly. Missed the shot, but he was fouled.
Well, Burton came from that weak side, tried to give him a little help, and intimidated him just enough to make the shot a difficult one. Right here. See him getting around Fetterman, but there's Willie Burton trying to intimidate him just a little bit. I don't know if he got a piece of it or not. He could have, but Fetterman fouls him from the back.
That is the third foul on Dan Fetterman. He's the first Tennessee player in foul trouble, and he leaves the game. Fetterman goes out, and Rob Jones comes back in to replace him.
16 foul against Tennessee, so from this point on, both teams are shooting 1-1.
2:10 to play first half.
Tennessee zoning.
Dowell shoots a 16-footer way off the mark. Rebound for Tennessee. Woods got it.
Tennessee zoned that inbounds, and as we mentioned, it's standard, and then they'll stay in it on that set.
Under the 2-minute mark in the first half here, Tennessee trying to add to an 11-point lead. They leave Beeman wide open, and he hits.
The wing player did not come out, put pressure on the point of the ball, and it cost them. Just a mistake, because in that 2-3, the back wing player has got to come out and cover that wing. He didn't do it.
Tyrone Beeman has 6 now against an average of 7 a game. Pierce to Dowell. Those two playing catch, trying to get Royster open underneath. Kinchin comes out and gives it up again to Pierce with 1:22 to play first half. In traffic, Eric Laird puts it up and draws the foul. That was a good shot by Laird. He had people all over him.
Basket should be good, too. They got it down to him deep right here on a lob pass. Right there. He's in the act of shooting. It looked like he was fouled just as he put it up by Willie Burton, and the basket was good. Chance at a 3-point play.
Basket good by Laird. Burton with foul number 1. Beeman goes out of the Tennessee lineup. He's replaced by Myron Carter. As you see the basket go down for Laird. Carter, 6'2" junior from Madison, Tennessee, averaging 2 a game. Laird unable to hit, but Royster rebounds for the Rebels. So a chance for a 4-point play or 4-point trip down court for Ole Miss this time. Pierce got away from his man. Jump shot good. First 2 for Brad Pierce. It is a 4-point trip for the Rebels, who cut the Tennessee lead to 28-19.
Full court zone pressure by the Rebels.
Here's Woods right in the middle, leaves it for Jones, can't get his shot away. Tony White, he's fouled.
Well, they beat the full court pressure really with ease and got it right into the middle of the defense and had a chance to make a lot of things happen. Could have had a shot on the wing early, turned it down, got it back to White, and he really took it to the basket. Right there.
Foul is called on Don Royster, his second foul. He goes to the Ole Miss bench, replaced by that man, Derek Horn, number 34, the 6'7" sophomore. Played earlier in the half and scored 2 points.
They'd gotten it over on the wing to Rob Jones as they beat the pressure, and he had a little 10-12 footer, but he gave it up to White, who he thought maybe could do more, and he did. He got it almost to that basket for Laird.
White hits them both. He was the Class 4A Southwest North Carolina Player of the Year as a high school senior. Native of Charlotte. 8 in the game. That's 2 above his average already with 42 seconds remaining first half. Horn wide open underneath. What they do?
Well, he got the defensive player was 31, Kevin Wood. He just got caught in a situation where he was behind him, couldn't get in front, and just flat cost him. And the offense picked it up very quickly, got the ball to him. He turned around and laid it in. Woods could have fouled and prevented the basket, but instead he thought he might, you know, it'd be a 3-point play. So he very intelligently backed away. And Tom, they've let the air out. They're going to shoot the last shot.
They have a 9-point lead with 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Tennessee's going to play for the final shot against the Ole Miss zone. Here's Carter. In the corner, Burton puts it up. No good as the first half comes to an end. Burton, known for his last second shots, he hit the one you remember earlier in the season at the end of the game to beat LSU, but he can't get that one down, and the first half ends with Tennessee leading it by 9. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at Don DeVoe talking about TV. We'll look at both Ole Miss and Tennessee. We'll give you some stats from the first 20 minutes of play. But we have played the first half from Oxford, Mississippi. Southeastern Conference basketball action at halftime. Tennessee leading Ole Miss by a score of 30-21. Back to Oxford in a moment. Tuscaloosa 69-62. So here's the way the conference standings stack up now. Auburn all alone at the top, 7-2 for the Tigers. Kentucky there in second place with Florida just a half game behind. Alabama, Vanderbilt, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss winless on the bottom. Now tomorrow, of course, it'll be Auburn at Florida. If Auburn wins, they'll retain sole possession of first place. If Florida wins, it'll be a three-way tie between Auburn, Kentucky, and Florida. And I hope you'll watch the game tomorrow on most of these SPI network stations with Ralph Hacker and Butch Clifton bringing you the game. Should be a good one.
What do we have it to be? Honey, I'd love to see it. And hope we can and get settled down and in our living room and really enjoy a good game, Tom. And you've got a bunch of teams kind of huddled together there with 4 losses. So if Florida wins, that gives 3 teams with 3. And when you say this league is up for grabs, it is totally up for grabs. Big win by Alabama to make it happen.
Joe and I will be in Baton Rouge on Monday night to bring you Tennessee and LSU.
LSU is one of those teams with 4 losses.
Eric Laird misses on the first shot of the second half, and White rebounds for Tennessee. Tennessee, Jenkins was hit in the eye, and we're going to call an official's timeout here to take a look at his eye. Tennessee comes back with Fetterman starting, along with White, Beeman, Jenkins, and Rob Jones. So Fetterman in that starting lineup for the second half. And Ole Miss has come back with Brad Pierce, Andre Laird, Royster is in there, Eric Laird is in there, and the other is Joe Ayers.
But he was pleased with Fetterman's performance in the first half. He did a good job, particularly on the boards. He brings him back, and the Rebs are still zoning.
And Willie Burton is the one who is not starting the second half for Tennessee. Pierce tried to get a steal there blind side and knocked it out of bounds. It'll go back to Tennessee. Rebels sticking with that zone defense, Joe.
It's been aggressive. Good movement, good action in it. It's not passing. It's helped them. As I mentioned to you, they're going to have to do it with the defense.
There's an outside shot. Jenkins takes up the role as the zone buster. He hits the first 2 of the second half. He has 8 points in the game.
You can be active in that zone, but you just have to have pressure on the point of that ball at all times. Here's Laird.
Nice pass from Pierce to get him open, and he draws the foul as well. The basket will count. Laird will go to the line.
Tennessee tried to front him on the inside, and they didn't have good weak side help. Got an exchange on the weak side, and so there was nobody there. They lob it over the defense right there. They lob it over number 34, Rob Jones. He came back trying to salvage something, but it was too late.
So Rob Jones commits his first foul, and Coach Don DeVoe of Tennessee doesn't like what he sees. He calls his first timeout of the game. Timeout, 18:58 to play in the game. With Tennessee leading Ole Miss, it's the Vols 32 and the Rebels 23. Pepsi Free is a participating advertiser on the Southeastern Conference telecast. And today's game is sponsored in part by Bahamas Air, Pilot House Hotel, and Tropical Tours. For more information about the best in sunny tropical vacations, call 1-800-327-5118. Eric Laird at the line trying to complete a 3-point trip. Missed the free throw. Ole Miss has just not been able to hit the free throws this afternoon. They've made only 1 in 5 attempts.
Tom, that's unusual for him because he's a 79% shooter, 79.3% in the top 10 in the league, and he's missed 3 here this afternoon.
Beeman gets it inside to Fetterman, turns around, can't hit, and the rebound by Royster, who had Fetterman blocked off the boards. Andre Laird in a hurry for the Rebels. Brad Pierce pulls up the jumper, good.
Yeah, they got it up quickly. They got it on the wing, and of course they can't cover everybody. They've beaten a couple of defensive players down the court, and Pierce got a little string music.
Tennessee beats the pressure, gets it in front court. The basket by Pierce cuts the ball lead to 7. Again, a zone from the Rebels. Tennessee attacks the zone with Jenkins on the point. They got Beeman over on the side, got it to Fetterman. Too hard, but a foul.
They're getting it to Fetterman. He shot the first one too soft. He didn't have enough on it, and that one he shot too hard, but he was fouled just as he put it up. Here it is. He's right in the seam, as you can see there on the beautiful replay of that zone defense. Perfect pass, just as he came across the lane. He got up to put it in, but he was fouled just as he shot it. He wouldn't have gone in anyway because he almost knocked the banking board down.
Andre Laird committed the foul, his second, the first against Ole Miss this half, as Fetterman rolls in the free throw.
Fetterman 69% on the season.
And 3 of 4 this afternoon.
That was a good shot of Lee Hunt, the head coach at Ole Miss.
Fetterman misses the second. Royster rebounds for Mississippi. So it's an 8-point Volunteer lead as Pierce brings it across the timeline for the Reds.
Tennessee is still in that man-to-man defense.
Cross-court pass to Ayers. Andre Laird takes it again to Pierce. Looking inside, but nothing doing. Eric Laird trying to post up low. Double teamed and taken away by Beeman. Coach Lee Hunt off the Ole Miss bench wanted a foul. Here's Beeman still on the dribble. Throws it right away, and a walking call. It'll go to Ole Miss. Here's Horn that comes into the game for the Rebels. He replaces Royster. Derek Horn, 6'7", sophomore, played in the first half and did a good job, scored 4 points.
Well, Pierce kicked that ball inside, but when I tell you it's a sagging man defense, they swarmed him. Got a steal, and of course Beeman turned it over at the other end.
Here's Pierce initiating the offense for the Rebels. Can't shoot over 6'10" Fetterman, and they'll set it up. 8-point lead for the Volunteers, who have never trailed. Ayers, bad shot. Missed it badly, and Fetterman clears the rebound.
Ayers was picked as a Birmingham tip-off club's Alabama Mr. Basketball. They felt like they really had a good one and got off to a good early season start, but he's not played real well the last 7 or 8 games and has had trouble shooting the basketball, as you could see there.
Horn almost had a steal. Ayers almost had a steal, but it'll still be Tennessee's ball. Carter ready to come back in for the Volunteers. Excuse me, it's Kirk Naylor. Naylor, 32, is a 6'8", 195-pound junior from Gadsden, Alabama, who averages 3 a game. He replaces Jenkins in the ball lineup. Coach Don DeVoe has taken the Vols to 5 straight NCAA tournaments his first 5 years in Knoxville. In his 14th year of coaching as a head coach, 230 wins and 131 losses. Beeman is open. Rebound by Ayers of Ole Miss. Comes out on the dribble. Here's Ayers. Nice pass. Andre Laird. Good.
Well, that's the way to handle the break. Don't run over somebody. Stop. Pull up. Get the good pass. Full court pressure by Ole Miss.
33-27. Ole Miss making a run at Tennessee here. Naylor in front court for the Vols. The Rebels of Ole Miss looking for their first conference win in their 10th game in SEC play.
Zone has definitely given them trouble. They haven't shot well against it. Just 45% in the first half.
White, Naylor, Beeman trying to get Fetterman loose inside. Fetterman calling for the ball, but on a high post. They want to get him a little lower. White trying to drive baseline, cut off. Beeman fakes, gets a step, but travels.
They're definitely struggling against that zone. They can't get it inside, and they're reluctant to put up the perimeter shot, and all of a sudden the Rebs are back in this game.
Ole Miss with the basketball and a chance to come within 4 with a hoop here. Pierce slipped, but retained possession. Pierce feeds it inside. Horn got away from Fetterman. Good, and a foul.
No, they didn't call it, Tom. He came across from the weak side, trying to reject. That was Naylor, but he didn't foul him, but the basket was a little good, and the lead is just down to 4 now.
Thought I heard the whistle for the foul, but no foul, just a basket by Horn. Naylor outside for Tennessee.
And a big basket, too, because it cut down a little of the momentum that had been developed by the Rebs. They were on a real roll.
Kirk Naylor wasting no time off the ball bench. Pops from outside. Here's a collision. No foul. Pierce just saved it back in bounds before it went out. Ayers got a good shot, and Jones all alone under the basket for the rebound.
A terrible shot, and he barely almost shot an air ball. Just barely kicked the rim on the far side.
And I expect he'll be coming out of the game because Bruce Tranbarger comes to the scorer's table ready to check in. 35-29 Tennessee lead. Vols with the basketball. Here's White. Good. Tony White, first 2 of the second half. He leads the Vols in scoring with 10.
When Naylor's come in, he's a young man that does not turn the ball over very much and is very sound fundamentally. He's hit a big basket from the key, made an excellent pass there as he reversed the ball against the zone and made the basket possible. So Naylor has helped cut down that Ole Miss run.
Pierce, no good. Rebound, Fetterman. Beeman in front court for the Vols, who lead by 8. Kicked ball, it'll go back to Tennessee. Here's Tranbarger coming into the game, the 6'7" freshman. He's a Tennessee native from Kingsport, and he does replace Ayers, who took that bad shot. It'll happen every time.
You guessed it. He put up 2 pretty bad shots, really.
Tranbarger's been held scoreless this afternoon, averaging 4 a game, and has shown a good shooting touch on occasion, which is something that has been sorely lacking in most Ole Miss games. White misses this one, but is tapped right to Fetterman. He's fouled by Horn. Derek Horn committing his second foul. That'll be the second whistle against the Rebels this half.
The reason Tranbarger is having this problem shooting the ball is because Tennessee's in a man defense, and they put tremendous pressure on you, and it makes the outside shot become very, very difficult.
Horn comes out of the game after committing the foul, replaced by that man, Don Royster, 6'7" freshman, played in the first half, started the game, failed to score.
That was a good offensive board in by Big Dan Fetterman. You see at the line shooting 2. He was aggressive. He moved. And you and I have talked about this, Tom, but Big Sam Bouya, that's where he is really showing improvement at Kentucky. In his 2-year layoff, he's really starting to go to the boards, and he's going after the ball.
Fetterman, after missing the first, cans the second. And he has 6 in the game. It's a 38-29 Tennessee lead.
5 unanswered points by Tennessee. The Rebs had cut it to 4.
Ole Miss had been on a roll, but Tennessee stems the tide and pushes that lead back out to 9. That equals their halftime advantage. Eric Laird operating the lane, fakes Jones off the floor and draws the foul as he put his shot up.
They're getting good movement underneath, picking for each other, and the wing people, as the ball is kicked from the point, are looking underneath, and they got the good pass to the man they wanted it to. Eric Laird, good pump fake, and he's fouled as he put it up.
Second foul on Rob Jones, 2 this half against the Volunteers, both committed by Jones. So with 13:42 on the clock, Eric Laird will step to the line, and it rolls in for him.
He's struggling at that line, not the good touch he normally has. It's amazing shooting, what rhythm you have to have, and as we mentioned, he's been tremendous at the line all year, but he hasn't had the great rhythm today. He got that one.
15 points in the game now for Eric Laird, 15 for Laird. It's a 38-31 Tennessee lead as Ole Miss supplies the backcourt pressure. They get it to Naylor in front court. Kicked ball by Eric Laird. It'll go back to Tennessee.
Another very good move by Kirk Naylor. It looked like they were trapped. They have no outlet, and the 10-second count would get them. But he broke across into the middle to give the player with the ball an outlet pass. Good, intelligent move.
Beeman to Naylor. Brings it to the other side as the zone shifts over to pick them up. Fetterman. Bounces to White. He takes it from there. No good. Kicks out to Laird. Here's Eric Laird. Got a 3-on-3 break. Andre Laird. Back outside to Pierce, and they'll set it up.
Looked like they had the numbers, but Tony White really sprinted back on defense to get set up, and that prevented a cheap Ole Miss basket.
Eric Laird trying to post up on Rob Jones. They've got Jones guarding Laird now. Jones is 6'7". Remember, in the first half, the 6'4" Laird had been posting up some of the smaller Tennessee players. We'll see if that basket will count.
I'm sure it will. Royster and Eric Laird just keep interchanging on the inside. Basket's good. It makes it very difficult for the defense unless they switch. Right there, Fetterman tried to get a piece of it. Couldn't. You see weak side help by 34 Rob Jones. He gets it in, and they said he was fouled. He'll shoot one and a chance at a three-point play.
Willie Burton comes in for Tennessee, replacing Fetterman, who just picked up his 4th personal foul. First player in the game with as many as 4. He goes to the sideline, and Eric Laird once again steps to the line. And he has carried the bulk of the Ole Miss scoring as expected. He got it.
Lead is back to 4 again.
Laird, who is a high school All-American in both football and basketball, almost has a steal. There's Andre Laird with the steal. Pierce picks it up. It's a 4-point Tennessee lead. Ole Miss with a chance to pull within 2.
Yeah, they full court pressed them, and they got a steal out of it.
Royster feeds it back outside, saved by Pierce. Did a good job that time, didn't have the shot, got rid of it. Here's the money man, Eric Laird, shot blocked, foul on Jones.
Well, that's who they're going to. They're just looking inside every time now. I'm a little surprised that Tennessee hadn't gone zone. to shut down that inside action because they're getting excellent movement inside. Don Royster and Eric Laird keep interchanging, and it's just very difficult, even though you're even trying to switch on the inside, to handle him because Royster is so big. He's 6'7", he weighs 210, he's strong, and he's stepping out making a good pick. There's a good shot of head coach at Ole Miss, Lee Hunt, looking for his first Southeastern Conference win and a chance here to cut it to 2.
Fred Jenkins leaves the Tennessee lineup, or comes into the Tennessee lineup, replacing Naylor, as Eric Laird hits another free throw. He's got 4 in a row going at the line now.
I think Tennessee has their original starting lineup back on the floor.
Second shot by Laird off the front of the rim, no good. Tap up twice and taken by Burton. So it stands at a 3-point Tennessee lead, 38-35. Volunteers with the basketball. Clock shows 12 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Ole Miss still in the zone. White. Fans wanted a walking call as White made his move. Instead, they'll get a foul called on Kranbarger of Ole Miss as White puts the shot up.
Well, that's what they have to do that they haven't been doing very effectively against that zone. Penetrate it and make something happen right here. Royster's on that wing. He can't handle number 11, Tony White. He's too quick for him, so he gets penetration. He can either pick it, put it up, or he can kick it off underneath for an easy layup. He shot it, they fouled him, he shot shooting 2, and he made the front end of 2 shots.
He's hit 3 in a row at the line, 3 for 3 this afternoon. The foul on Kranbarger, his first 3 against Ole Miss this half. Tennessee has committed 2 as the 6'2" freshman Tony White hits it and hits the second. He has 12 in the game to lead Tennessee, and the balls go up once again. See the score, a 5-point lead for Tennessee. They've never trailed. Cross-court pass, Royster. Partially blocked and saved in. Beautiful save by Jenkins, right to Burton. Tennessee with a chance to add to that 5-point advantage. Jenkins underneath White. Triple team, missed the shot. Jones crashing the boards, knocks it out of bounds.
Tennessee really didn't have the shot underneath. He should have backed it out. Too many players around him. He was too small. He couldn't shoot it. And we come back, Tom. It'll be Rebel ball.
And the Rebels will hope for a basket to cut the lead to 3. Right now it stands at 5. Timeout, 11:43 to play. Tennessee leads by 5. Today's game will be picking our Gulf Most Valuable Players. And in addition to recognizing our 2 MVPs, Gulf Oil and its dealers will donate a $500 scholarship to the general scholarship funds of both schools. That's part of the Gulf Most Valuable Player Award Scholarship Program. We're seeing some excellent men's basketball here today, but don't forget the SEC women's teams are having a terrific year. We just noted that for the first time in the 8-year history of the women's top 20 poll, a conference has 5 teams ranked in the country's top 10. Georgia ranked 4th, Ole Miss 5th, LSU 8th, Tennessee 9th, and Auburn 10th. In addition, Alabama is 20th. So we have 5 teams in the top 10, 6 in the top 20, and the SEC women's teams having an outstanding season. They have beaten non-conference teams at an 83% winning rate. And last night, Kentucky upset Florida 76-61. Tennessee edged LSU 82-80. And the Ole Miss Lady Rebels beat the Mississippi College 111-63.
We know the men's tournament in Nashville is going to be great, but can you imagine the women's tournament with 6 teams in the top 20?
In fact, all but one of the 10 SEC women's teams have appeared in the top 20 this year at one time or another. Mississippi State is the only one that has not been at one time or another in the top 20. Ole Miss with the basketball and hoping to sustain their momentum. That's the guy they want to get it into the hands of, Eric Laird. He has scored all but 6 of their points this half. Kranbarger's open, missed the shot. Maybe shot a little too quick. Rebound by Jones.
Well, he hadn't had a lot of opportunities, and as soon as he got it, that defense from the weak side, because they lobbed across it, come flying at him, and that's Fred Jenkins, who's done an excellent job on him defensively all afternoon.
Lead remains at 5 for Tennessee, with the Volunteers now have the basketball as we go under 11 minutes for the game. Tennessee hoping to stay in the middle of the pack in the SEC. They're 4-5 coming in, and the Rebels at the bottom hoping to record their first conference win. Willie Burton to Tyrone Beeman. Looking inside as Jones tries to get loose in the middle of the zone.
Shot clock is 5.
4, 3, Beeman in traffic, 1. That's it. The shot clock goes off. Give it to Ole Miss.
What defense. Great pressure. They never penetrated it. They never got anything inside. Everything was on the perimeter, and they swarmed him with 5 seconds. And it's the Ole Miss ball, and give a lot of credit to that 2-3 zone, and it's given Tennessee trouble all afternoon.
Let's see now if they can convert it into a basket on the offensive end. You see the turnover situation all even. Ole Miss trailing by as many as 13 in the first half, and turnovers are one of their problems. They've eliminated that problem here in the second half. Andre Laird looking for brother Eric. Got it to him. They've probably done that 1,000 times over their life. Pierce on the point. Brings it again. They try to post up Eric Laird. Now they get it to him against Rob Jones. Beeman comes to help out to no avail as Laird makes the move and draws the foul.
Well, they've been very, very patient offensively. You know they're going to go to Eric Laird. Still a little surprised, Tom, that with the lead that Tennessee hadn't just looked a trip or two down at the zone just to see how Ole Miss would react to it, because in the man defense, they're pretty much able to get it to Eric Laird. And when he gets that close to the basket, he's super quick. And he's an excellent foul shooter, and it makes it very, very difficult against your defensive alignment. And Snodgrass, 54, has just come in for Tennessee, replacing Rob Jones.
Jones picked up his 4th foul, so both Tennessee centers, Jones, who started, and Fetterman, who came off the bench, have picked up 4 fouls trying to guard Laird, who hits the second free throw. Snodgrass, 6'10 freshman from Chattanooga, averaging 2 points a game.
And remember that Ole Miss opened up in a man defense in this game. Tennessee handled it with ease, and immediately they went to that 2-3 zone, and it has kept them in this basketball game.
They trail by 3 after the 2 free throws from Eric Laird. Laird with 21 points in the game. Tyrone Beeman back on the point now. This is White over on a wing. Snodgrass tries to post up underneath. Burton knocked away by Tranbarger. It'll go back to Tennessee.
It's almost as if they're saying to the wing players, we'll take our chances with you. Go ahead and put it up out there. We'll give up that shot, but we're not going to let you have anything inside at all.
Tennessee playing without the confidence they showed earlier in the game, and when they had Fetterman in there, they seemed to have a plan to go to him. Now they're sort of just playing aimlessly. That time, Tony White just goes one-on-one against the zone, and he found a seam in it and popped it off the glass.
Well, again, he got a little penetration against it, and this is what they have to have. They have to have the penetration from the wing, not from the point.
Royster could have gotten a move against Burton there. He was overplaying him to the wrong side, but Royster didn't feel that pressure, and instead kicked it back outside.
Royster's a freshman and lacks confidence to do anything offensively.
Tranbarger looking inside. Guess who? Eric Laird. That time Laird made his move before he caught the ball, and Snodgrass is able to corral it for Tennessee.
He was really quickly moving back to that middle of that court, and an opportunity at an excellent 5, 6, 7-foot shot.
5-point Tennessee lead with 8 minutes, 42 seconds to play, as Snodgrass hits a short jump shot off the bench for Tennessee.
Well, they got it to him again, where they got it to Fetterman a couple of times, right on the baseline. If you'll clear it out there a little bit, you can get it in that position and a chance for a very good shot in Snodgrass. Little turnaround jumper.
Snodgrass guarding Laird, partially blocked the ball, pulled down by White.
Good defense by Snodgrass. Excellent block.
7-point Tennessee lead as the Volunteers control with the clock showing 8:13.
Well, Laird's 6'4" and Snodgrass is 6'10". It's a 6-inch height advantage, and it really helped him.
Collision on the court, but no foul as White and Laird collided. This is White threading his way in traffic and scoring. Tony White.
You talk about penetration. He just took it all the way home, and the Rebels want to talk about it, Tom. They want a timeout.
Tony White with 16 points for Tennessee has almost single-handedly repulsed the Ole Miss rally to put the Vols back up by 9. 7 minutes, 56 seconds to play, and Ole Miss takes its second timeout of the game. We'll be back to Oxford for the final 7:56 in a moment. Right now, a timeout with the score Tennessee 46, Ole Miss 37.
Scores table, please. Electrician and scores table.
Don't forget, coming up tomorrow on most of these SPI network stations, a battle for first place. The Auburn Tigers alone atop the conference standings after Alabama's defeat of Kentucky today, taking on a hot team, maybe the hottest team in the conference at the moment, the Gators of Florida. And a win by Florida would place Auburn and Kentucky in a 3-way tie with the Gators for the top spot. So it is a battle for first place, Auburn and Florida tomorrow on most of these SPI network stations. Then hope you'll join us on Monday night as Tennessee travels to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. The Tigers hoping to stay in the conference race, as are these Volunteers, both with aspirations for postseason tournament bids. That's Tennessee and LSU coming your way at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time on most of these SPI stations Monday night.
Ole Miss shooting a little hard to say better, but really not, Tom. It's about the same. With 5 of 12, Tennessee is shooting better than they did in the first half. They're 60% on 6 of 10, but the Rebels are not turning us over as much as you mentioned. Only 2 turnovers in the second half, but Tennessee has out-rebounded them in the second half 10-3.
There's White with a steal. Here's Beeman in front court for the Vols. Tony White with a steal. He got it away from Pierce.
I like what he did, though. He backed it out. He knew he didn't have it. He backed it out and said, let's set it up, work for the good shot, not take any chances. We're up 9.
Tony White has been sensational once again for the Volunteers. Since entering the lineup, he has been playing excellent basketball. There he is with an offensive rebound. Knocked away from him, however, and taken by Laird of Ole Miss. Got it to Cecil Dowell, who's come in. Back to Laird, off the glass, he got it. Eric Laird again showing body control as he took the ball, even though his body was sort of half twisted, and backed it home. 23 points this afternoon for Eric Laird of Ole Miss as the Rebels pull back within 7. Offensive foul called against the Volunteers.
I like what he tried to do, though. He's been penetrating from that wing, and that's what they need to do. Brad Pierce, though, good defensive position. He took the charge, and the Rebels have a chance to cut 2 more off that lead. If Florida beats Auburn tomorrow, you'll have 3 teams, as we mentioned, tied for first, but we'll also have 3 teams with 4 losses. So we'll have 6 out of the 10 teams really in the hunt as we really get cranked up here in the second half of this great Southeastern Conference battle.
That was the second foul on Tony White of Tennessee. 6 against the Vols. Here's an Ole Miss, almost an Ole Miss turnover. And somehow Dowell came up with it right under the basket and hit the layup.
Well, Beeman made the steal against Pierce, and would you believe Dowell turned around and stole it from Beeman? And he was wide open underneath. Big basket, lead 5.
Snodgrass inside, knocked away, but a foul. Foul on Mississippi on Royster, I think. It will be on Ayers. That's the 4th foul on Joe Ayers, the first Rebel with 4.
Just the 4th foul against Ole Miss. They can commit 2 more before Tennessee goes to the line. The Rebels, Tennessee's committed 6 fouls, so the Rebels are in the 1-and-1.
6 minutes, 22 seconds to play. 5-point Tennessee lead. Jenkins couldn't get a shot away, fed it back out to Beeman.
Rebels have gone man-to-man defensively.
This is Beeman with the ball, and he's guarded by Dowell. Burton, turnaround jump shot, won't go. Rebound, Ole Miss. Here come the Rebs on the fly. Eric Laird from Dowell. Laird driving, good.
Big basket, cut to lead to 3. Burton couldn't get it on the baseline. Rebs gone full court in their pressure, and they got a steal.
Ayers with a steal. Dowell to Pierce. Shot on its way. No good. Rebound, Dowell. Fakes. Foul.
We said they couldn't do it with offense, but they can do it with D. And that's what they're doing. They switched their defense finally to a man. They got a steal out of it. They went to full court pressure after the made basket. They got another steal, and they're back at the foul line shooting a 1-and-1, and they got a chance to cut this lead to 1 point. Look at it again, right there. Pierce put it up, wouldn't go. They got a break on the rebound, came right back into Dowell's hands. He'll shoot 2 because he's in the act of shooting, as you could see.
Back to live action, Cecil Dowell, the 6-foot senior. He's a native of Tennessee from Arlington, 68% free throw shooter. You see his point total for today. Shot is on its way, and it is good. 46-44, 2-point Tennessee lead as Dowell will try to cut it to 1 with his second shot.
He's shooting 68% on the season at the line, and what a comeback for the Rebels.
Dowell sights, shoots, good.
Rebels full court pressure. They play with their back to the ball. Willie Wood came high to get it.
1-point lead for Tennessee. Volunteers, Beeman to White. It's been White that's carried the offense for them in the second half. Here he is again. Tony White rims out, stuffed in on the follow by Jenkins.
Did he ever get up? White got penetration against the man defense. Heartbreak, it wouldn't go, but watch Jenkins here. Nobody blocked him off. A fundamental mistake. Bam, and it was a good call, too. No offensive goaltending.
It was out of the cylinder. Here's Eric Laird against Snodgrass. Oh, that might have gone in if Ayers hadn't touched it. It'll be a foul on Tennessee. It'll send Eric Laird once again to the line.
Smart move, Tom. They isolated Eric Laird against Snodgrass. He's much quicker. They cleared out the right side and let him go one-on-one. He almost had it to go. It looked like it would have come off. And Ayers was up trying to put it back in. And Eric Laird's back at the line shooting 2.
Second foul on John Snodgrass. Tennessee with centers and foul trouble. Already on the bench, Rob Jones with 4, Dan Fetterman with 4, and Snodgrass has now picked up 2, all trying to guard Eric Laird, the man that steps to the line for the Rebels. What a game he's had. He had a career-high 34 against Kentucky. Rolls in.
He's nervous about his foul shooting, as we keep telling you, but he is a 79% shooter. That is what he would like to call touch, because it laid all over that thing and finally went down the drain.
Shooting for his 27th point. He got it.
Lead is 1. Full court pressure by the Rebels.
48-47 Tennessee. Lob it into Snodgrass. And a 5-second count turns it over to Ole Miss. Tennessee unable to get the ball inbounds against the pressure defense and violated the 5-second time limit. And Coach Don DeVoe is going to take a timeout to try to stem the advance by the Rebels. Ole Miss with a furious comeback. They could take the lead with a field goal when we come back to play. Timeout Tennessee. 5 minutes, 16 seconds to play. Live from Oxford, Mississippi. It's the Volunteers leading by 1. Tennessee 48, Ole Miss 47. Joe Dean from Oxford, Mississippi. In the second half, the Rebels have suddenly found the shooting eye. They've gotten loose for some good high percentage shots, and they've hit them. You see, they're out shooting Tennessee for the second half.
Well, it's mostly layup shooting because they've made steals. They've had some fast breaks. They're 9 of 15 now, 60% in the second half. They're getting hurt on the boards a little bit, but they're 10 of 12 at the foul line. Only 20% in the first half, and it's gotten them back in the game, and they have a chance here to take the first lead of this game for this team.
Here's Laird for the Rebels to brother Andre. They'll look for Eric Laird again. Here's Tennessee in the zone.
It's a 2-3. They're going to try to shut down that inside finally and make them go. Perimeter shooting, and they turned it over.
Ayers throws a bullet toward the direction of Dowell. Off Dowell's hand, out of bounds. The Rebels with a chance to take the lead. Turn it over.
It's amazing what a defensive change does to the rhythm of that offense.
Beeman guarded by Andre Laird. Ole Miss man-to-man after Tennessee switched to the zone. Snodgrass getting heavy pressure from Royster. Travels. Freshman against freshman. Snodgrass walks. So Ole Miss with a second life. Don DeVoe with a seat a little disgustedly on the Tennessee bench. Again, Ole Miss with a chance to take its first lead of the game. The Rebels looking for their first conference win of the season. Ayers on the point. Andre Laird. They'll look for Eric Laird underneath. Instead, shot outside. Won't go. Yes, it does. Wow. That was a 3-bouncer as Joe Ayers got it.
He got a break. Looked like another bad shot because he's had trouble shooting from the outside.
Ole Miss with its first lead of the game. Jenkins gets away. Collision and a foul. It'll be called on Ole Miss.
Jenkins had a step on him, no question about it. Tried to take it. The freshman who we've talked about, they think so highly of at the University of Tennessee. Right here, reverse dribble, and he's going to bring it back. There's Dow lunging in on him. They say he had made his step, and I think it was a good call. The guy, Dow, number 11, was still moving, and Jenkins is at the line shooting 2.
First foul on Cecil Dowell, only 5 this half against Ole Miss. Jenkins shoots 2 and gets the first.
Jenkins shooting 70% on the season at the foul line.
And is 3 for 3, 100% this afternoon. Got them both. Fred Jenkins puts the balls back up by 1. It's 50-49 Tennessee.
Shot clock is now off. So from this point on, you can hold it as long as you want to. And if the Vols have that lead, I wouldn't be surprised in the ball to see them let the air out. Rebels trail by 1.
Andre Laird looking inside, always looking inside for brother Eric. This is Ayers, puts up a 12-footer, good. Ayers has hit 2 in a row for Ole Miss.
Wasn't shooting well, and all of a sudden, he's got it going.
Almost a steal. The Ole Miss Rebels get the call on the full court press, and they'll come back again with that 1-point lead. The pressure defense has really bothered Tennessee.
The pressure, the zone, they finally did it with defense.
Lee Hunt has gotten his team going with the D this afternoon. It's resulted in some good shots on the offensive end. Joe Ayers has hit 2 in a row. Ole Miss leads it by 1. Let's see if they go delay game.
Tennessee has to go man-to-man. That's what they've done, because if they don't, they'd sit back in the 2-3 zone with the clock off. They'd let the air out.
That means somebody's going to have to guard this man, Eric Laird. Snodgrass rejects it out of bounds back to Ole Miss. Eric Laird has done a number on every Tennessee player today. I don't know if you could see it just in the corner of your picture, but he chased the ball down out of bounds. And while he was over there, got a drink from the fountain that's mounted on the wall.
Well, he was thirsty.
Well, he should be. He's had a whale of a game, I'll tell you that. Cecil Dowell. Oh, Andre Laird. It'll be over and back. And the Rebels just cannot stand prosperity.
Tough break for them. They'd gone 3-2. They had let the air out. They had Tennessee playing man defense. They had them in the 1-and-1 foul shooting situation. Everything was in their favor with 3:27 to go in this game. And they had an over and back at the 10-second line. And Tennessee has the ball when we come back.
Woods back in, replacing Snodgrass for Tennessee. That's 2 times Ole Miss has had the ball in a 1-point lead. And both times they've turned it over. You see the turnovers have cost both teams today.
Rebels playing man-to-man defensively.
Woods, who just came in, can't hit the shot. A follow by Burton, won't go. Rebound, Ayers of Ole Miss.
Woods took a very bad shot.
Clock ticks down 3 minutes, 5 seconds. Again, Ole Miss has the ball in a 1-point lead.
Woods was under a lot of pressure and really didn't have a good shot. He almost charged. He just threw it up there.
Here's the delay offense for Ole Miss. On a high post, Eric Laird feeds it back to Dowell. Clock down to 2:50. Eric Laird, will he challenge? No, he won't. They'll continue to run the delay. They have a 1-point lead. In the foul shooting department, Ole Miss is 7th in the conference. They're hitting 69.1%. Here's Eric Laird. Feeds it back outside to Dowell. 2.5 minutes left. Rebels looking for their first conference victory. In the earlier game in Knoxville, Tennessee an easy winner, 88-59.
Laird's the one player they don't want to foul. Excellent foul shooter.
Dowell cut off by Beeman. They'll double team him, but he gets rid of it to Andre Laird. Andre Laird dribbling, gets rid of it to Dowell. Clock down to 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Ole Miss delaying with 3 freshmen in the game, joining the junior Laird and the senior Dowell.
Well, the player they'd like to foul would be Royster, but he is not going to touch the ball. It's a 3-man game at this point, and we're under 2 minutes. They'll have no choice, Tom. They're going to have to gamble on fouling somebody.
51-50, Mississippi leads Tennessee. They have only led here in the last couple of minutes. It's been Tennessee all the way. The Vols led by as many as 13 in the first half. Underneath, Royster lays it in. Loaded to sleep and got the easy one.
They got a break.
Royster with his first basket of the game. Ole Miss with its longest lead. The Rebels up 3.
Still in it man defense.
Outside shot, good by Burton. Willie Burton with a clutch basket for the Vols.
And Tennessee took a timeout just as that ball went through the net with 1:17 to go to set up a full court pressure defense.
That is, I believe, the second timeout taken by Tennessee. They'll have 1 remaining. Mississippi also with 1 timeout left. 1 minute, 17 seconds to play. The basket by Burton has pulled Tennessee within 1. Timeout, the score, Mississippi 53, Tennessee 52. We'll be back. Tom Hammond and Joe Dean from Oxford, Mississippi, with the final minute and 17 seconds. And Ole Miss storming from behind by as many as 13 in the first half to take a 1-point lead, 53-52, as Don DeVoe tries to rally his troops for the final minute of the game. Here is the Ole Miss lineup, breaking huddle from around Coach Lee Hunt.
The Rebel shooting has been definitely better the second half, no question about that, because they've had some excellent shots. They're 11 of 19, but let's give credit where it belongs, and that's to defense. They have stormed them defensively. Full court pressure now by Tennessee.
Tennessee returns the favor against Ole Miss as they get it in bounds to Eric Laird. Knocked away from Laird, out of bounds. Last touch by Jenkins of Tennessee. Back to the Rebels with 1:14 showing.
Well, he's the one man they don't want to foul because he's the best foul shooter on the floor right now. If they could foul somebody, if he touched the ball, it would be Royster 35. I don't think he'll touch it unless Ole Miss just absolutely has to get it to him.
Jenkins guarding Eric Laird. Now Beeman comes over to help out as they get it safely into front court with 1:05 showing. Cecil Dowell. He's triple teamed. Got rid of it. A moment ago, Ole Miss stalled a couple of minutes off the clock and then got a layup. Here's Royster dribbling for the basket, and a palming call. Another Ole Miss turnover. It's unbelievable how many chances they've had and have thrown them away, but still have a 1-point lead.
Tough break for him. Dowell was loose up the middle. Turned it over. He palmed the ball. The referee says we're going to go the other way. Tennessee basketball, Rebels man defense.
As Official Wally Tanner comes over to talk to Coach Lee Hunt of Ole Miss, who is questioning the call. He says he didn't turn it over. He was driving for the basket. Wally Tanner makes the turnover motion with his hand, and that's what the call will be.
We're in a man defense now, the Rebels. Tennessee with a chance to go back on top. They trail by 1 with just 54 seconds. Pressure by Ole Miss.
The Rebels trying desperately to chalk up that first victory in conference play. Tennessee needing a win to pull even in the conference race and stay in the thick of it. Burton in the corner for the Vols. Beeman. Ole Miss playing man-to-man defense. Clock ticks down as you see. 37 seconds. Burton is open if they get it to him. There he is. Shot on its way. Good.
They ran a pick for him both times down. Trapped his man Royster in the pack. And he was free on the baseline, and he's hit 2 in a row.
Tennessee by 1, 54-53. Eric Laird partially blocked. Ayers on the follow. Good.
They blocked the shot, but nobody was there on the weak side for Tennessee.
14, 13, 12. This is Jenkins for Tennessee against Dow. Got away. Shot good by Jenkins.
8 seconds.
Ole Miss quickly up court. 5, 4. Andre Laird kicks it off to Dow. Shot up. No good, but a foul with 1 second left.
Tennessee did not get back and get set up real well defensively after the basket by Jenkins. He'd put them ahead by 1 on a driving shot. They didn't get back, and here it is right here. They're loose underneath. That's Dow. And Burton had no choice but to go after him with everything, and he did. He shut him down completely, and Dow can tie this game or win it. Right there. They just did not get back defensively. Tom, they had to drop back defensively in a zone defense. Just boom, very quickly, sprint back, but they didn't do it.
Here's Cecil Dow, all the pressure on his shoulders. 1-point game, 1 second left. Dow's shot ties it. Cecil Dow, 3 for 3 at the free throw line this afternoon for Ole Miss. Snodgrass comes in for Tennessee. And Beeman, no, it won't be Beeman. It'll be White that comes out.
He makes this, and it's probably all over because there's only 1 second.
As Coach Lee Hunt tells his Rebels, back off, no fouls now. They all go to the other end of the court as Dow sort of fidgeting, walking away from the line, trying to get ready for that second shot. And Beeman, of course, is trying to delay as much as possible to let him think about it. Beeman in there talking to the official. Here's Cecil Dow. Game tied 56. 1 second to play. Ole Miss needs this to win this first conference game. Dow sights. Ball on its way. It is good. Beeman from midcourt, no good, and Ole Miss has won. 57-56. The Rebels win for the first time in conference play, defeating Tennessee after trailing by as many as 13 points in the first half. And you'd think they'd won the NCAA tournament the way the fans are storming on the court. The players are hugging each other. Cecil Dow is being carried off the floor on the shoulders of some students, and it is a scene of jubilation here in Oxford, Mississippi. A long string of frustration broken. They're the 2 men that did it. Lee Hunt, the Ole Miss coach, whose defense pulled the Rebs back, and Eric Laird, whose offense kept Ole Miss in the game early and finally was able to win it on the 2 free throws by Cecil Dow. Fantastic finish in Oxford, Mississippi, and the homestanding Rebels win it by 1. We'll be back for some final comments in just a moment. Ole Miss has beaten Tennessee 57.
Seven.
Ole Miss with a furious comeback after trailing by as many as 13 in the game, and on the short end of the score virtually the entire game until the final 4 or 5 minutes. Pulls off the upset 57-56 over Tennessee to win for the first time in 10 conference games. Let's take a look now at today's winners of our Gulf Most Valuable Player Awards. For Tennessee, for the third consecutive game, the freshman Tony White, who had 16 points this afternoon, and it looked at one time, Joe, as if he would personally stem the Ole Miss tide.
Well, he started getting the penetration to make some things happen because they hadn't done it all afternoon against a tough 2-3 Ole Miss zone defense.
We had White with 16 points unofficially, as you saw 14 there on our screen. And the Ole Miss Most Valuable Player, of course, honorable mention to Cecil Dowd, who hit the 2 clutch free throws with 1 second left to win it for the Rebs.
Tom, do you know he made the winning foul shots against Georgia to win the Southeastern Conference Championship in Birmingham a few years ago, so he does it here again today against Tennessee.
But the MVP is Eric Laird, who really had just an outstanding game, 27 points to lead all scorers. He had just an outstanding game. They turned it over to him. It was Eric Laird, and they wanted a basket. They gave it to Laird. He almost personally fouled out all the Tennessee centers, and he was the MVP for the Rebs.
Well, we said defense has to do it for the Rebs, and the defense did it. They went to some full court pressure, changed their defense. The zone was good too, but the full court pressure really made it happen. They forced the turnovers.
Well, Gulf will donate $500 to the general scholarship funds of Tennessee and Mississippi on behalf of our MVPs, and it was an exciting finish as the Rebels win. They go 1-9 now in SEC play. Tennessee drops to 4-6. Rebels win at 57-56.
Today's telecast was brought to you by Coors. Now the best of the Rockies is yours. By Gulf Oil. At Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you. And by Holiday Inn Hotels, a better place to be. For worldwide reservations, just call 800-HOLIDAY.